This baby was born and never drank milk. He actually stuffed the wooden windmill his father handmade for him straight into his mouth and ate it. Faced with such dangerous behavior, the father didn't stop him. At this point, the father didn't know this was just the beginning of a nightmare. Soon the baby grew into a 5-year-old child. On his birthday, his father made him an adorable wooden hat. The boy's face lit up with joy as he grabbed the hat and began devouring it. It turned out the boy was born with a burning furnace in his chest. He had to constantly consume fuel to keep the flame alive. Once the flame went out, his life would come to an end. And his father happened to be made of wood. The only fuel he could provide for his son was wood. That day he lovingly crafted a wooden airplane for his son. But before it was even finished, the boy secretly gnawed the propeller to pieces. The father didn't scold him, just silently continued repairing it. As the boy grew day by day, his need for fuel increased. The wooden toys his father prepared daily could no longer satisfy him. So the boy began secretly eating tables, chairs, cabinets, and even ceiling beams. The furniture in the house disappeared piece by piece. The walls were gnawed full of gaping holes. To keep his son from getting rained on, the father worked through the night repairing the house. But the repair speed couldn't keep up with the boy's eating speed. Just as he'd nail a board in place, another hole would be bitten through elsewhere. Soon the left side of the house was completely eaten away and became dangerously unstable. The father had to use 2 wooden posts to temporarily prop up the roof. Just as he was about to go inside to get tools for reinforcement, he suddenly discovered his son was gnawing on the most important support beam. The father tried to stop him, but it was too late. Father didn't hesitate to throw himself toward his son, shielding him with his body. When all the dust settled, their entire home had become complete ruins. The boy looked at the destruction with eyes full of regret, wanting to apologize. But the father just silently turned and walked away. The boy helplessly picked up the windmill he'd left unfinished eating as a child. At this moment, he seemed to make some kind of decision. After who knows how long, a rainstorm woke the father sleeping in the ruins. Beside him on the ground stood that broken windmill. But his son was nowhere to be found. The father's heart tightened and he immediately searched everywhere. In a daze, he noticed a faint light flickering on a distant mountaintop. So he immediately climbed against the wind and rain with all his strength. When he finally reached the top, he found the furnace in the boy's heart had completely gone out. It turned out he had deliberately let rainwater flow into his chest to extinguish the fire so he wouldn't burden his father anymore. The father's hands trembled as he opened the cover on the boy's chest and desperately blew air inside. But no matter how hard he tried, the extinguished fire could never be rekindled. In despair, the father gently placed the broken windmill on the boy's chest. Just then, a mountain breeze swept by. The windmill actually began turning slowly. The father's eyes lit up and he quickly dismantled the parts. He firmly secured the windmill to the boy's chest. As the gentle wind continued blowing, the windmill drove the boy's heart to beat faster and faster. Soon the boy with his restored heartbeat slowly opened his eyes. The father excitedly hugged the boy tightly. From then on, the fire-powered boy became a wind-powered boy.